He still has the same bills. He has the same rent. He has the same insurance. He has the same responsibilities of the kids.
We got to start accepting the reality. In relationships, in marriages, most of you are going to work. Subscribe. Let's talk about it.
So this is the last video that I'll make for today, but I just want to say this. There is a very strange misconception out there about how a woman who stays home and doesn't work a job, per se, is a burden to a man who goes to work. But here's the real truth. A man who had a job and a man who had a place to stay and a man who had bills before he met the woman already had responsibilities. All the woman did was come into his life and now become an asset, or is supposed to become an asset to be able to help him. Now, here's the strange thing about help. Help is not always necessarily financially, because once children get added into the picture and there now is a shift where, say, the mother has to take on the sole responsibility of watching those children from home because maybe everyone's situation is different. That woman is still taking care of responsibilities with that man. It's just divided differently, right? But then there's this other narrative in society right now where if a woman is not working at a typical job, she stays home and she watches the kids, take care of the kids, does the things that the man wouldn't be able to do probably as much or as easy if he had to do a job and both. Somehow that woman gets labeled a burden. Somehow she gets labeled as somebody who is making it harder for the man because he has to provide for now the wife and the children. But here's the reality. If you take away the wife, he still has the same bills. He has the same rent. He has the same insurance. He has the same responsibilities of the kids. So here's the strange thing. Is it really that the woman is a burden? Or is it that you just don't have the capacity to take care of a family? Because family or not, you still have responsibilities.
No, a woman is a financial burden, right? A stay-at-home wife or stay-at-home girlfriend, stay-at-home whatever is a financial burden. Kids are a financial burden. It's not saying that they're not worth it. It's not saying that the wife isn't worth it. It's just saying there is a fiscal burden put upon a man when he has his wife stay home, even if it makes economic sense, even if it makes sense in terms of this is what she really wants, even if it makes sense that, hey, it's cheaper to do it this way, there's still an economic burden. Pretending like somehow, suddenly, women don't cost any money. Suddenly, she costs nothing. She's absolutely free. She takes up zero space. She has no expenses whatsoever. We're being disingenuous to the point it sounds like we're not really being serious and trying to have a serious conversation. A lot of this ends up with people unable to take your argument seriously because it's not really couched in reality. We'll break it down, right? We'll break it down. Like before, like, comment, subscribe, YouTube stuff, do all that stuff. Tomorrow, Subscriber Sunday, 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you're there. Jump in the chat. Let us know it's real. Besides that, hype the video, share the video. We got some merch in the store. So listen, you've heard a lot of these arguments that you already had bills. It's not something chivalrous. It's not something amazing. It's not men being providers because they would have had bills anyway. Okay, think about it. And we're gonna just kind of use soft data, but you all can get the idea. And if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comment section right now. You understand that women cost money, the upkeep, the thing that they're always trying to foist upon men to pay for. You keep shouting about how expensive it is. So the upkeep suddenly stops now that you moved in with me. Okay. Me, also the man that doesn't buy houses, that doesn't buy these things because, well, we're not on the same level as you. You're not moving into my one bedroom, right? And then having kids. We're not staying in the very same environment once you met me. A lot of men actually buy homes once they see they're getting serious and they see a future. Yes, they do those things for the family. Left alone, a man's probably going to live in a cave. As long as he's comfortable, as long as he has his peace, he'll live in a cave. As long as he's got his little amenities that he might need. Nice gym area, nice place to go buy food, nice place to relax. He's got his 80-inch TV. Yeah, we don't really seek a lot of these luxurious things. They're luxurious to us. To women, when they come in and say, we're going to need more space. You more nest and look towards the future. If we have kids, we're going to need more space. Even if you come and move into my one bedroom, we need an office now. We need extra space because now we're on top of each other at all times. This costs more money. Going from one bedroom to a 2, to a 3, to a house, You can look at the data yourself. You can look at the numbers, what it would cost you to rent versus the average cost of a home in the United States is $400,000, $417,000. That's an added expense. Taxes, title, like in insurance, all these in the home buying process. Oh, that's money, that's money, that's money. Now I've got to make sure I buy the home properly so I have at least manageable monthly payments, or I can't put my hands on enough of that money. I can't put my hands on 80 grand once I just met you in order to put a 20% down payment. So maybe I go 3.5, I go FHA. I've got a larger now monthly payment attached to that. When I go to work, when I take my car to work and you're home with the kids, how are you getting around? You need a car. Okay, that's an added expense. So we probably went from my vehicle that I had originally, or if you had your own vehicle, I need to take over payments of that because you didn't come here without debt. You came here with student loans. You came here with your own credit debt, your own consumer debt. I'm now responsible for that. Oh, you also need your, like we said, monthly upkeep. You need all these other things done now more so than ever so you can still feel engaged. Oh, you still want to now have fun, go out, do some things because you're human. You deserve interaction with other people, your friends. Who's got to fit that bill now? That's me. Okay, but look what she's allowing you to do. She's allowing you to work more hours so you can pay more money, so you can earn more money so you can pay for more of the things. What you are now giving is one that's absolutely tangible. The cost of childcare. You're taking care of that. We know, and depending on your state, that can get excessive. So it's not to say that your labor is non-existent or we can't calculate, we can't total it. What we have in these conversations is you like to total your unpaid labor and make it seem as if there's nothing else. You have no expenses. That man has no expenses. He should just easily pay for this and then still do stuff around the house. You're not being genuine. You cost money. Humans cost money. Not just you, now the kids. He's still responsible for that. Okay, but you're unpaid labor. Now we look at the cost of raising kids from the time they're born to about 18. It's about $200,000 to $250,000. Who's responsible for that? He is. And not just in the now. He's responsible for thinking about what happens to college, what happens for my retirement, what happens for your retirement, our retirement. That is extra burden put on him. What we have here is a constant ignoring of the importance of the work that men do. You look at it and you say, you devalue it in order to prop yourself up. This isn't really how equality works. You don't put your thumb on one, ignore their efforts to raise up another. It's artificial. Once people start paying attention to the extra weight, to a hand on the scale, they start saying, this is a bad deal for me. Now, keep in mind throughout that entire process, it's not as if because you already don't recognize the value of men, the value of him going to work, what happens? You resent him for not being there. You resent him for not actually being around the house to help you out more. So he gets it while he has to do extra hours at work, while he has to try to climb that corporate ladder. So maybe he can put himself in a position where he earns more with doing less work. So he can now help out more. He can be more part of the actual child rearing, which I completely think you should be. I would hate to be a father and miss out on milestones, miss out on time with my children. This is what it's all about. But the last thing someone like that needs is to come back home and have a partner that is ungrateful in spite of what they're doing. You can be stressed. You can be frustrated. All that makes sense. Raising kids is frustrating. It's rewarding, but it's frustrating. We can acknowledge both at the same time. When you ignore men's effort, then you make it seem like, yo, something is wrong with you, but you don't want to have me be a stay-at-home wife. The news is in. You just look at the data. Most of us are going to work. You're going to get married. You're going to couple up. Even if you're paying a smaller portion of bills, you're going to work. You're going to work. Or you guys get together and understand that you can be a stay-at-home wife, but a lot of those things have to leave. That maintenance, the need for vacations, for 3-4 vacations with the luxurious stay-at-home wife, that's not in the cards. The penny pinching, coupon cutting is probably more likely going to be the case if you want to stay at home and raise these kids. It could just be simple math. It costs too much. Daycare, childcare costs too much. We can't keep them there. We can't do that and actually maintain. Your job itself is going to pay this. You might as well stay home. Okay, we can understand that. But when those kids are of age, when they're now in school, when we don't need you to actually be home during those same hours, you're probably going to have to get a job. This is the reality of it. When you stop listening to what people are saying online and you start looking at the economy and the actual cost of living, then a lot of this conversation should eventually die down. It's not to say we don't appreciate your unpaid labor. It's not to say that that is not important. It's not to minimize any of that. At the same voice, same time, don't minimize a man's labor. Don't minimize a man's contribution into making this whole thing work. If you think it's worthless, if you think it's something simple that every man should be able to do, or most men should be able to do, then why is it not happening? Sometimes it's not from a lack or desire of, it's from just the numbers. Not a lot of people making enough to keep you home, raise 2 kids. That is probably $250,000 to $300,000 discussion. Yes, some men saying it, making $50,000, that should not be escaping their lips. To do it in the way that social media envisions, that's a very expensive conversation. And with that expense, with that income, comes other issues. One, of someone not being attentive, not being home, or getting home and being completely exhausted. It's small scenarios of the highest echelon of men that can make this happen without them actually needing to be present at the office. Realistically, and let's return there. Realistically, both parties are probably gonna have to work in some sort of capacity. When we say 50-50, it's not necessarily split down the middle, but maybe 80% of the load, 70% of the load of the financial burden is on him, 30% is on you. And that could just be simply because you may not have a job that's as lucrative. He gets paid more. You thinking that it has to be like this. He has to pay all of those things. Yet you're not anywhere close to reality. Listen, if you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to Sound My Voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. I'm trying to build something dope. See you in the next one.